So new video. In this one, someone on Discord asked me why do I consider myself an idealist and a panpsychist. And before I answer why, I'm gonna define what these terms mean. So an idealist is someone who adheres to the ontological position that everything that exists, all of reality, is consciousness or mind. And a panpsychist believes that everything that exists has a degree of consciousness. And some misconceptions about this occur often. People think that idealism means that it is my mind or your mind that constitutes all of reality, and that's not what idealism is. That's called solipsism. And also, other people think that panpsychism, the idea that everything has a degree of consciousness, means that, I don't know, that my bookshelves have similar thoughts to mine and they're thinking about going to work or something like that, but that's not what it is. It just means that they have an experiential life, so to speak, but at the same time it's going to be very different from mine or from yours or from any other animal that we know. So to answer the question, why do I consider myself an idealist and a panpsychist? Well, I can easily answer why an idealist, and the reason why is because there exists something called the hard problem of consciousness, and this problem means that under materialism um, we cannot explain how those experiential qualities, or also known as qualia, emerge out of non-experiential, non-mental elements, which under materialism is it's known as matter or physical stuff. And why does this problem exist? Because if you think about matter, under materialism and with physics, we never talk about matter in terms of qualities or for example, we don't talk about atoms as being red or blue or as having uh, qualities that we can talk about. We describe these things in purely mathematical terms. In other words, everything that we're seeing, it's a representation that exists inside our skull, and the world out there is, we just don't know what it would look like or be like, or even if it makes sense to talk about look like, because then you would be invoking a representation. So how is it that something that doesn't have these qualities, that is purely mathematical, develop into something that can have qualities or that has qualities? And this is a big problem that hasn't been solved and probably will never be solved under the current materialist ontology. This is where I come in as an idealist, and I say that everything that exists is mental and has different properties, qualitative properties, that after interacting with each other or after evolving in a certain way lead to ourselves or organisms, and with that our brains, and thus the way we represent things out in the world. So this implies that the jump from the outside stuff, from our minds, is not as insurmountable. It's actually more easily to bridge that, because if everything is mental, it's very easy to conceive how mind can lead to more or different kinds of mind. And thus, this is considered a very parsimonious explanation for why reality exists and why we have consciousness and why it emerges. And the reason is that consciousness always exists, it's just that it morphs and changes as the universe or as reality changes or evolves. For the panpsychist part, well, I follow panpsychism because I think that having a jump from non-conscious mental stuff to suddenly having conscious experiential individuals or organisms seems too big of a jump, and I wouldn't know how to bridge that even within idealism. If everything is consciousness, it makes sense that different objects that we observe would have a degree of that, even if minimal. So those are my reasons so far for why I follow those ontologies, and this is based on multiple readings that I've done over the years. When I continue to explore these areas as well. But yeah, thank you for listening to my ramblings and to my philosophizing. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone has an amazing day.